Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel and my video training. Today we're going to talk about something pretty specific to me. In our past training sessions we've been talking about what is post-traumatic stress. Is it really a disorder? Because of the condition that you have, you can't function. And we talked a little bit about understanding that you're not the only one that has post-traumatic stress, and you need to break down your isolation type of behaviors. So I thought today would be a good time to discuss with you what post-traumatic stress was for me. And I have everything listed up here on the board, so you can follow along if you want. And so let's just get into it. Post-traumatic stress for me was several things I have listed here, and then it also caused some physiological changes within my body, which I think are important to note. The first thing that I have listed here that post-traumatic stress did to me was it caused me to be afraid of the dark. The reason being is because the war I was in, it was we fought at night, so it was dark, and then also they lit the oil fields on fire early in the morning, and it became pitch black at like 6:30 in the morning, and it was like that for several days. You couldn't see a thing, couldn't see my hand in front of my face. So later on in my life, I was probably about 26 years old, and I was in college at the time, and my professor said he was going to show us a movie and turned off the lights, which I wasn't expecting a movie or that to happen, and I panicked just like that. Grabbed my backpack, all my books, and I ran out of the classroom. And then, of course, every time I went back to class, I would panic, worried that was going to happen again. Secondly, I developed panic attacks, which is sort of what I just talked about a little bit, but they can happen anywhere, anytime, any place. One of the things that used to cause me to panic, as well as the dark, was when I was in a grocery store. I'd get in line, especially if it was a long line. I would begin to feel trapped and claustrophobic, which took me right back to the war, being in my fighting hole, living in the hole, crawling through bunkers and things like that. So I'd get in the line, and if I had to wait there any amount of time, I would completely panic and I would freak out. I would leave an entire grocery cart full of groceries right there in line and run out the door with everybody looking at me. Thirdly, I used to jump from loud noises. So anytime a loud noise would happen, I would just jump, which would remind me of getting shot at or bombs blowing up or what have you. So in particular, one time I was at a restaurant. A lady was walking behind me with a bunch of trays, and she accidentally dropped them on the floor. It was like a tile floor, and I jumped just like that, and I dove under the table, and here I was in the middle of this restaurant at 20-something years of age, hiding under a table. Number 4, colors and smells. This is big. The colors and smells led to panic attacks. Say the smell of gunpowder would cause it. One particular issue that I had was with the color orange, and that was a big deal to me because one morning I opened up the blinds in my room when I woke as the sun was rising, and it cast an orange glow into my bedroom, and I began to panic. And so every time thereafter that I went into my bedroom, I began to panic. So that was another issue that I had to deal with, of course, and that brought me right back to the war. The orange was the color of the sunrises and the sunsets over there. It was the color of the explosions at night, etc., etc. And because of all of that, that leads us to number 5, which I became a prisoner, not only to the post-traumatic stress, I became a prisoner in my home. I was just afraid to leave the house. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't even order my groceries online and have them delivered to me. I just was scared to death to step out that front door and out into the world. And so I had all these problems for a number of years. Like I've told you before, I suffered with post-traumatic stress for about 25 years until I finally healed from it. And I did it in healthy, natural ways. And suffering with post-traumatic stress and all these sort of major symptoms here, what I would call major, because there was a lot of other things too. It caused a lot of physiological changes within my body. And I have those listed here. And some of those changes now could also be signs of, serious medical conditions. So it's always good to get checked out by a doctor to make sure you don't have any of those serious conditions. However, if they are related to your post-traumatic stress, they are easily fixable as long as you deal with and heal from the post-traumatic stress, okay? So number one, it caused me to have heart palpitations, okay? I'd get them throughout the day, several times a day, especially with stress and things like that. Number two, that was associated with a shortness of breath. I'd just be somewhere and I'd get this shortness of breath. I felt sort of like I was going to have an asthma attack or something, okay? It caused a burning sensation right here in my chest, which could be heartburn or whatever, but that's caused by stomach acid, which is secreted, especially as a response to stress. I also had dizziness because I'd start to have these other symptoms and I'd start to get scared and I'd start to get dizzy. There was times where no matter where I was, I would get so panic stricken that I would literally pass out wherever I was. Okay. Chronic pain. I dealt with that for a long time. I had it in my joints. The worst place that I had it was in my lower back. And because of all that, and then the medication that they had me on originally, which was 5 different types, which I shouldn't have been taking together, but that's what they gave me. I ended up in a wheelchair for a couple of years. I'm out of that now, and I've been out of it for several years. But pretty much rid of any sort of chronic pain. Also caused nausea. I wouldn't be able to eat because I'd be nervous and panicky, and I wouldn't be able to eat. Then I'd get nauseous because of that. I'd want to, throw up and all these other things. So it wasn't fun. And all of that then led to insomnia, which made all these other things even more worse. So it was sort of like this vicious cycle that just continued, just one after another, one thing led to another, and it just kept growing in size and complexity the longer I let the post-traumatic stress go without healing from it or dealing with it or facing it. There was times where I was lucky, literally I would get maybe an hour of sleep a night, and there were weeks where I went that maybe I got an hour of sleep a week. And that went on for a while till I completely broke down, and I was a complete mess, and that led me to the hospital, which then in turn led me to seeing a doctor and being put on medication, which I reversed all of that as well. So you can see, if you don't deal with these things that are going on, if you don't deal with the post-traumatic stress, it can really get out of control and take over your life, and it will hold you prisoner. It held me prisoner for 25 years. So hopefully with my videos, it will inspire you to take that step and start healing so you don't have to suffer from it as long as I did. And the reason I want to mention these things to you and what post-traumatic stress was for me is so that you can identify with what I went through. You can relate your experiences to mine. I'm sure some of them are similar, and I'm sure that a lot of them are even different. But it also will help give you an idea if you're having these symptoms, you don't necessarily know what's going on, or you think maybe it might be post-traumatic stress, but you're not sure. This will sort of help guide you into figuring that out. Because once you figure it out, you can begin to deal with it, okay? So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. I put a lot of information here. And also, you can go to my website, robertsaraki.com, and I have a lot of information there. All these videos I keep posted there, all the different things I do are there. All my books are there. I also post a daily inspiration to sort of help motivate people and guide them through their daily life. So it's good to go there and check that out. And also, You can follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Just friend me or follow me. I'm under Robert Siraki Jr. I post a lot of information there. I post these videos there and a lot of other things. So that's a good place to go to get more information. And also, don't forget to get a copy of my new book, The Sword and the Anvil, the definitive guide to healthy natural healing from post-traumatic stress and trauma. There's a ton of information in there that I've condensed for you on post-traumatic stress. And I outline my 13-step foundation to healing. This book's really going to help a lot of people. So get out there and get a copy of it. And I look forward to seeing you again on my next training video. And lastly, I would like to leave you with my famous saying, which is each and every day, take time to heal, become inspired, move forward, and be successful with your life.